Alright guys, it's your boy Ryan Thompson, and today I'm going to be talking about owning a Google Nexus 6P by Huawei in 2016. Now I know this phone is relatively new, but I really did want to give it a good look because it is a new Nexus, and as you guys know I'm a huge Nexus lover, so I had to try this out. There'll also be a comparison to the Nexus 6 in a later video, but for today we're just going to be talking about the 6P. We might refer a little bit to the 6, but mainly it's the 6P. Now what I want to compare this to a lot is my iPhone 6s Plus that I did have. I do genuinely miss that phone, and I'm kind of upset that I sold it, but I had to sell it in order to try out new phones just like this one. So for those who are asking, no, I basically only use the 1 or 2 phones that I'm reviewing at a time. I don't keep them. I haven't got the money for this. It would be nice to get a grant or something, but no, I can't do that at the moment. So I'm going to go straight into a physical tour. On the top, we do have a 3.5mm headphone jack in its ideal location, like I said, on the top, loving that. On the right, we have a ridged power button, similar to the Moto X and the Nexus 6, as well as a volume rocker. Being on the same side is easy, and actually, depending on what hand you use the phone, it's actually not that easy to take a screenshot. On the left-hand side, we've got the SIM eject tray, which is weird because it's on the left and it's on its own at the top, but it's a decent location. I'm not going to quibble about this because you kind of only need to do it once. And on the bottom, I saved the best till last, we have a USB Type-C connector here, which is something that I use but I think isn't actually that useful, and I'll get into it in a little second. It is really useful for some things, but the cons way outweigh the pros. On the back we do have our fingerprint scanner, we also have the Nexus branding, a Huawei branding, and at the top we have a popular visor which has the camera as well as the flash built in, and I believe this is how it sends and receives its Wi-Fi and mobile data signals. And then finally on the front we do have a gorgeous 5.7-inch 1440p display, as well as stereo front-firing speakers, which it brought back from the Nexus 6. I'm loving this, by the way. We also have our front camera. Okay, so I want to talk firstly about the screen. It is a gorgeous, absolutely stunning 5.7-inch 1440p display. Being 1440p, you get great colours. It is AMOLED as well, so you're getting those deep blacks, and you do get certain features which do take advantage of that. If you set a black background, it's not going to light those pixels, and actually you're going to save battery life. But I have one thing about this: it's 1440p. Obviously the quality is stunning and it's an absolutely great quality device. You like the screen is perfect, it's responsive and it's great. But the battery life is so unpredictable and most of the time really bad, and it suffers because of this. So I'm sorry, this isn't just my unit, the battery life is actually quite bad. I'm quite a power user and the Nexus 6 did this fine even though it had a 1440p display, so I'm not sure what it is, but although it looks stunning, it is not good for battery life. Performance is good with the Snapdragon 810, so that's an 8-core chip and also 3GB of RAM. Multitasking is good, system-wide applications are good. Basically everything like gaming and watching videos, you're going to have a good time here because it's got a whole 3GB of RAM and 8 cores to play with. It's not going to beat any of the newer phones, and it certainly didn't beat the iPhone 6s Plus in how speedy, responsive and actually powerful it is, but at the same time you're not going to have a worry here. The speakers are also excellent. They're front firing. They're not the greatest quality, but they're much better than your average speakers on a smartphone, and they also kind of get quite loud, and here's a test of that. The build is incredible. You've got chamfers around all the edges. The visor might put some people off, but I actually really like it there. And I like how it looks, and I also like how it feels in the hand. You're getting full metal construction here with glass obviously on the front and also on the back visor. But apart from that, it's metal and it feels incredible. And it is the most slippery phone I've ever used. In fact, it is more slippery than the iPhone to me, but that's probably just the way I hold it. But I do like the chamfers, it kind of helps. And the ridged power button, if you kind of grip onto that slightly, it kind of helps. USB-C. Now this is very good in the fact that it's reversible and the charging is absolutely rapid. Like, the battery life is terrible, but you plug it in with its official charger and it's going to charge in minutes. It is incredible, and I really like how fast this thing charges. Means that I don't leave it on overnight though, and I actually just leave it, like, I kind of leave it unplugged overnight and then in the morning charge it whilst I'm in the shower, because it is just that quick at charging. On the rear we've got a 12.3 megapixel rear facing shooter, which is really actually quite good, and it breaks the trend of Nexus Nexuses typically having bad cameras. Now, I did actually like the camera on the Nexus 6. I know not a lot of people did, but I did. So the Nexus 6P was something that kind of competed with my iPhone 6s Plus. That thing had a great sensor. This does as well. Low light is amazing for some reason. It's probably just because it's got a bigger sensor, not sure. The 4K video looks great, and I don't know if it's just about smartphone video, but it kind of looks a bit choppy. I'm not sure what that's about, but I think the video quality itself is very good. Photos come out very nice, and we've got some test shots for you. The front-facing camera is an 8 megapixel affair, capable of taking obviously 1080p video at 30 FPS. 8 megapixels for a front camera. That's like the rear-facing camera of an iPhone 5 and 5S, which is kind of cool. The front-facing camera takes insanely good quality selfies, but the selfie video looks a little bit choppy, not sure why this is. Let's talk about the fingerprint reader, something that coming into this I was very happy about because it's a fingerprint reader and I didn't have that on the Nexus 6. I'm loving the placement of it being on the back. Not sure if I prefer this or the thumb grip. I think I kind of have to share, they kind of have to share it for me. I really do like the placement in both places. I like how you can just single tap it, you don't have to press a power button, you kind of just tap it with your finger and it comes on. It's fairly quick, but nowhere near as close as the iPhone 6s Plus or, you know, obviously the OnePlus 3 that's just come out, OnePlus 2. But it's quick, it's just not as quick as I'd like it to be. It's more similar to, I guess, the iPhone 6 fingerprint scanner. It's also got the feature like the Nexus 6 where you can lift to wake, where you just kind of pick it up and it senses you picking it up and it will light the pixels with the date, the time and the notifications, which is awesome. Now I did say the battery life was bad and I'm not wrong about this. I gave this to Harry. In fact, you saw in the unboxing, if you saw the unboxing, that I lent this to my friend Harry whilst I was using the Nexus 6 and he reported back that everything was perfect and he almost bought it off me, but the battery life is just so bad. I thought, well, fair enough, I'll use it. He is a power user, I will try it, I'm a power user, let's see how this goes. I text my girlfriend and it just kind of, it's just texting, right? It shouldn't, I don't play games on my phone, I don't watch videos on my phone, this is literally all I do is text. And maybe use a bit of Facebook Messenger, but we'll get into that in a second. And it just uses up so much battery life, even when I've got Messenger turned off. I don't really like that at all. Now, obviously, Messenger is a huge battery drainer on any phone, but in this, it didn't actually seem to make that much of a difference. Just me texting, I don't know what it is, but it's really upset me. Obviously, like I said, it's good that you can charge it insanely quickly, but you're going to have to carry around your charger anyway because no one else has a USB-C charger. So you're going to have to carry that around, and because mine was an import, I kind of just have to carry a great bulky adapter with me, which is just not cool, guys. I really wish that I could say more about USB Type-C, but nobody has it, nobody uses it, and it's just not a big thing yet. I'm sure when it is, it'll be fantastic, because the time that I have used it, obviously just charging, it's very rapid, but it's just not too mainstream yet. It does not have removable microSD expansion, it also doesn't have a removable battery. If it had a removable battery, I'd be well inclined to kind of even give this a little bit more praise, because I just don't like the fact that its battery life is so bad. It is almost the perfect phone, but it's the battery life. My perfect phone is still the iPhone. Talking of operating systems, kind of, we are running a Nexus, and as you guys know, I love Nexuses. It is running stock Android. Best experience. I even almost got Harry to convert to being a stock guy instead of using the Huawei's, because it is just so good. It's so clean, it's smooth, there are hardly any crashes. There are some, but you know, not a huge amount, and because it's a Nexus, if you wanted to buy it right now, you can upgrade to the Android N developer preview, which is awesome. Some quirky things about the device: the rear camera is actually able to shoot 720p at 240 FPS. It and the iPhone 6, I believe, are the only phones that can really do that. Not sure if there are any others, but like, I can only really tell 120 FPS from other cameras. The placement of the scanner as well is a bit different. Obviously, most manufacturers like to have that on the front of the phone, but I kind of like it on the back. I don't know. I don't mind where the scanner is as long as it's got one and it's quick. And the visor is probably the weirdest thing about this phone, you know, the placement of it. I love this phone to bits, and I honestly wish I could keep it. There are some problems with that though. Number one, I don't have the money. Number two, I'd like the fingerprint reader to be a little quicker and a little bit more responsive, but you know, that's fair enough. And number three, the battery life. Guys, I'm sure lots of people have had good times with the battery life because it is kind of a noted issue, but it's not as noted as the G3 was. Kind of need a longer battery life. Like, you know, my iPhone 6s Plus, with doing the same stuff, by the way, texting, Messenger even, which should have brought battery down even more, that lasted like 2 days, like 3 days at a push. This barely lasts me a full day. Like, most of the time I get home from college, which is, you know, that's 9 to about 5, I come in home from college and I need to charge it. Like, I shouldn't need to do that. I've become accustomed to phones that just don't need charging, the iPhone 6s being one of them, the iPhone 6 being one of them, and the Nexus 6. Like, the Nexus 6 is a hidden gem. I'm not sure if you guys are going to love the big screen on this or not. You know, 5.7 inches to some is quite a big screen. I would say 5.5 is average, 5 inches is small, and 6 inches is big. But I just kind of feel that way about phones. I like bigger phones, and I like the way it feels in a hand. I like the way that holding a big phone feels and having those big UI elements. Guys, I'm really disappointed in this phone because of its battery life, but apart from that, I would solely recommend it to you guys. If you can figure out a way to get the battery down, you know, install a different kernel or maybe a different ROM or put something on it to make the battery life better, then I wholeheartedly recommend this is the greatest Nexus they've ever made. But I can't, and that's probably because the greatest Nexus I think that Google have been partnered with to make is the Nexus 6, which is probably noted to most as the worst Nexus. I don't know, guys. I love the big screen, I love the big battery of that, and you've seen the review. If you haven't, then please check out my channel, it's there. For the first time in, it seems like, about a year, I would like to see if you guys liked my video, if you liked it, dislike it, if you disliked it. Leave me a comment saying, you know, whether you liked it or not, you know, what you think, because honestly, you know, I've got a pretty weird perspective of the 6P looking at other people's reviews. And if you're new, please drop a subscription, like, subscribe to my channel. Like, we are close to 800 subs when I upload this, and that's an incredible feat for us, because I mean, I'm trying so hard with this YouTube thing, and it's going quite well for us right now, and I'm happy about that. But it would be nice to get a bit more feedback, so please let us know, you know, what you think of in the comments. I am gonna leave this video here, guys. I would give this, I would have to give this a 7.5 out of 10, and I have to give the Nexus 6 more like a 9 or 10 out of 10. So sorry about that, guys, if that disappointed you. I'm sure lots of people will disagree with me, because it seems like a quarter of our likes end up in dislikes, and people end up just not agreeing with me, which is fine. I am sorry if I offended you in this video, because it seems like a lot of people are getting offended by the fact I just have a different opinion to other people's, and it kind of frustrates me, but I don't know. I actually review phones, and I talk about things that I experience, not what other people experience. I think that might be what sets me apart from other YouTubers, because I don't look at the mainstream media. You know, I watch reviews, but I'm not going to comment on things if I haven't experienced them, and I'm going to comment on things if I have experienced them. So if it comes to battery life and stuff like that, I kind of need to talk about it, since that's my job. I'm a reviewer. Anyway, that's enough rambling. Thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, really big thanks to you who have shown support recently, and the subscribers and stuff, and I love you guys to bits. I know the common viewers, the Scooby-Doo person with the Scooby-Doo kind of thumbnail and profile picture, shout out to you, I can't remember your name. But I'm going to leave this video here. I'm really sorry for rambling, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. It has been your boy Ryan Thomas, and I'll see you later. Peace.